What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of
Mind Your Cleaning Business.
Excellent. So, again, your host, Brian Leighton from PHC Cleaners, and co-host Ray DeMeo from Sunshine Cleaning Systems. Excited to do another weekly podcast. A couple different things we're going to talk about today. First and foremost, though, a couple of shout-outs. Big shout-out to Live It Brands. This is the hat I'm repping today. Live It Brands makes everything from athletic wear to work wear. Just a brand that really specializes in not only doing or being active in specific things, but living it. So great shout out to Live It Brands. Next, as you know, every week we do a little food review, if you will, whether that's, like our favorites, donuts or sandwiches or what have you. Today, we got a lunch order from Jenny's Place in Marlboro. So big shout out to Jenny's Place. We stopped by there today. Nice, small, little kind of my favorite kind of places.
Like a hole in the wall.
Little hole in the wall, and just a good vibe there. I got the Cubana sandwich. You can tell this thing's bigger. It's gonna be my lunch and my dinner. It's about the size of my head.
And I got a chicken Caesar wrap on tomato basil.
Awesome. We haven't even had a taste of this yet, so we're gonna go in for it right now. We'll give you a quick review. I don't even know what's in this thing, to be honest with you.
Oops, a little messy here. Very good, high quality.
High quality? Yeah? What do you think? So, if you didn't watch the other episodes, Ray is a food connoisseur.
Oh, yes.
So he's very particular to his foods and his drinks. So listen to this review.
Chicken's very moist, good amount of dressing. Croutons have a nice flavor and good wrap flavor from the wrap.
Nice.
Yeah,
What kind of
that was
wrap is
yours.
that? Tomato basil.
Tomato basil, yeah.
Cool. So I think I got the Cubana, which is excellent. Like, I could live off pasta, so my taste buds are on a different level than Ray's, but
Oh, yeah.
very good. It's got a little pickle in there. Definitely tastes the pickle. It's got chicken, ham, cheese. My favorite type of bread is sourdough.
That's some thick bread.
Yeah, some serious thick bread, nice thick slices there. So, again, Jenny's Place. First time we've ever been there.
I'll go back.
Yeah, definitely go back, and we would definitely highly recommend Jenny's Place. So, Ray, let's talk about what do we have? What do we have on the table this week? So, first of all, I'd like to kick it off. How was the past week since we
Been
got
good.
last?
It's been good. Still
Yeah.
working on the website. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
I heard you moved on. You terminated your
I did. I
contract.
terminated the contract with the previous person, so now the website's back in my possession, and I'll be with your assistant, of course, making some changes very soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's important now. I mean, obviously in 2024, one of the biggest trends you saw in the past years was, designers or web developers, more or less, selling a service of where they would design and build a website for you, which is great. I help build various companies' websites, but there was a trend in years past where you didn't own the website.
Right.
It was more or less leased to you. So whenever you terminated a contract, you lost it, right? So it's obviously very important that you understand those contracts. We're not saying that your prior guy did that or anything like that. I'm just saying,
in general.
I've heard horror stories about people losing their website because they terminated a contract and had no access ever again to it. So it's in the fine print.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah, but now in 2024, you can find. I mean, there's a million. There's a million servers and services that you can go to own your own website, create your own. I always advise people, set up, whatever platform you want to use, whether that's Yola, whether that's Squarespace, Duda, is that what you Duda?
Wix or whatever else.
Wix, you create the account and then have a designer go in and, develop it, right? Create it. Or whether that's...
Because even the AI websites just have limitations.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what...
That might change in the future, but as of today.
At least for now, yeah. So it's awesome. So you're kind of going in the right direction, trying to figure out Google Analytics and all that fun stuff. So Ray is now working on the business.
Yes.
Yeah, he's still working in the business, of course. He's a one-man show, but he's definitely working on the business. So it's exciting. We're excited for Ray to really take things to the next level.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, so topics I want to discuss today. We're going to talk more entrepreneurial, not necessarily cleaning. So we might hit some hot topics. You and I might agree or disagree. So that's
Okay.
fun. That's gonna make it fun. So
Yes.
my first question is, what advice would you give to somebody that wanted to start their own business?
I would start with getting a mentor. There's an organization out there by the name of SCORE. It stands for Service Corps of Retired Executives. It's part of the Small Business Administration. It's completely free and confidential. You meet with a mentor, and just like with any type of person or interactions, you got to have that chemistry. So if you don't feel that you're getting that chemistry after a few meetings with that person, tell them no and move on to the next person. But they can definitely guide you and help save you a lot of steps, aggravation, and stress, and give you ideas that you maybe not or never thought of.
Got it.
And then they have access to thousands of mentors across the country.
Awesome.
So depending on your region, they even have free workshops. Sometimes they're in person, sometimes they're online as webinars. Sometimes you can even register for the event, and if you can't make it, you are sent a recording, because usually they're recorded. Then what else?
So get a mentor. So
Yeah.
I don't know if this is step one necessarily. Would you say that's step one? What would be the first step? If you say I want to start a business, would get a mentor be it? What would you think? How about you? Thinking about when you started your business, like what was the first thing? Like
First thing, I just started getting equipment.
oh, you started getting equipment? Yeah. You probably came up with a business name, right? Or like
Yes, but that came later on.
later on.
Yeah,
Or
that
maybe
wasn't.
maybe even think about like, what the hell do I want my business to?
Well,
be
yeah,
about,
you
right?
you do need to figure out what type of business
Right.
or industry you
Right.
want to be in,
Right.
for sure.
Right.
But after you figure that out, that's when you should seek SCORE.
Excellent, excellent. So let's go with this. Number one, knowing what you want to get into, right? Obviously, coming up with some sort of business name and that sort of thing. Hopefully, is doesn't have to be right there and immediate, but at least
Right.
have an idea of what you're doing.
Get an
Getting a mentor.
EIN as
Getting
well.
an EIN number, right?
Yeah, which is an employer identification number, so that you do not have to give up your social security number every time.
Yeah.
Because that's very important to protect.
Yeah, absolutely. Licensing your business.
Yes.
Some industries.
If you need to,
Yeah,
yeah.
need certain certificates or licenses.
Yes.
I would even recommend, becoming an LLC. Right.
Agreed,
Obviously,
yes.
depending on what state you work in. So Maine and Massachusetts are our big states where we have obviously we call it. It's called a foreign domestic and Maine, and obviously the business is based in Massachusetts. Each state's a little bit cheaper than the next.
Right.
Massachusetts I think is $520 a year.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Something like that. So definitely there. Mentors massively important, and I would say this is something I never did. Right, I think you're the closest person I ever had to a quote unquote mentor,
Well,
right? In the cleaning industry. I've learned a lot in the business. Unfortunately, I had to learn it the hard way.
Yep.
Because I never really reached out to a mentor, right? So again, SCORE. Do you know the website to SCORE by any chance?
SCORE.org.
SCORE.org. There it is. And a service that can be very, very helpful.
Agreed.
What about this? I would listen and watch a lot of business podcasts, right?
Yes,
And
you've told me that
yeah,
before.
Or YouTube shorts, if you will. And you'll hear different entrepreneurs on there, billionaires on there.
Right.
And one of the biggest things is knowing what you want to get into the business and making sure that it is something you enjoy doing.
Oh, you have to.
So this is where you and I are probably going to disagree.
Okay, let's go.
Which is great, right? Where it's an opinion based. So you started a cleaning company because why?
Because I love cleaning.
You love cleaning. I started a cleaning company. Well, I stayed with a cleaning company and built up the cleaning company, not because I loved cleaning. I'm a clean person, but it's not like something I'm just obsessively about cleaning all the time.
Definitely not.
I started a cleaning company because there was an opportunity.
Yes.
Right? And so, right, wrong, or indifferent, I'm sure people are certainly going to disagree with me out there. And don't get me wrong, I'll explain myself. I don't believe you should be hell-bent on starting a business because you enjoy doing it. I believe that there needs to be balance, right? So, my point is this. My son enjoys collecting Transformers. He's not going to be able to start a business collecting Transformers.
No.
Right?
Agreed.
But maybe there is a piece off of that, right, that he could figure out, whether it's like an
Yes.
eBay business or
Mhm.
whether it's transformer consulting. I don't know what it is, you know what I mean? Or maybe it's toy reviews. But you have to I believe you have to find the opportunity first and see if it matches with your enjoyment. So with me personally,
Yes.
and again, this is where Ray and I slightly are different in our businesses. I saw an opportunity, and it was cheap to get into the market in cleaning industry. In my specific focus point, saw an opportunity, thought, hey, what the hell, I can do this. Obviously that was a lesson learned because it was much harder than I expected it to be. However, I'm unfortunately a stubborn SOB, so I never gave up on it.
I can be at times.
And so saw the opportunity, but what I enjoy doing, and you'll know this, I enjoy building things.
Yes,
You
and
know,
you do it well.
I enjoy building things. I'm passionate about business development. I'm passionate about growth. I love strategic thinking. I love marketing and trying to find new ways. So that was kind of our push.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you're doing it very well.
You started it because you love it, right?
I do, yes.
And now it's interesting. You're. I'm not saying you don't enjoy this part, but now you're starting to work on things that. The marketing piece.
Yes.
And you're like, oh man,
I don't enjoy it.
So-
It's just a little overwhelming, a little stressful, and a lot thrown at me at once. Just because I don't have the same thought process that you do.
Yeah,
It's easier for you to do that type of stuff.
because I
than
enjoy it.
Yes.
I enjoy that.
Yes.
Right. That's the big piece there. So if you're out there, what I would advise is don't get hung up on trying to start a business in something that you absolutely love doing, right? Because I think what you're going to
But
do,
you do have to.
you have to
enjoy
find
it
something you
somewhat.
enjoy. Right, exactly. Like if I absolutely did not like cleaning and I absolutely did not like business,
It wouldn't be for you.
it wouldn't be for me. You know what I mean? You have to enjoy a piece of it and work around it. I was watching a post, YouTube short or whatever, with Gary Vee, and he was talking to a child. It was probably 12-year-old. I don't even remember what the product was, but he said, "Oh, what would you advise me to do if I was to start a business now?" Right? I don't remember exactly what it was, but he came up with ideas, but then he formed it into opportunities. You know what I mean? So that the kid could actually enjoy what he was doing, but also be passionate about growing something. So it was interesting. You know what I mean? So if you're into collecting bottle caps, probably not on face value, probably not a business. Right? How could you develop that into something that still had your interest, if you will? So again, don't take it verbatim when people say you have to love what you're doing. I don't love cleaning. Again, I'm a clean person, but I love business, and I love trying to figure things out. Right? So that would be my point on that topic.
Yeah, I agree.
You agree with that? Yeah. So what are you gonna do? So obviously you're right now working on things that you don't necessarily love doing.
Yes. Because I have to.
Because you have to.
I don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice. Excellent. So that leads us.
And the thing is, the people I've worked with in the past, the message that I've been trying to deliver and get out there has not been delivered the right way. So that has been a little frustrating for me as well.
You mean like people you're trying to work with in the
Well,
marketing
like the
piece,
website people.
The website people, yeah.
I tried wanting a certain message delivered on the website to my audience, and that was not being portrayed correctly.
Got it.
In the form of word content and SEO stuff to be found.
Yeah. No, makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I think, and again, I'm not portraying this on the people that you worked with, but I think there's a lot of quote unquote smoke and mirrors, and I think there's a lot of talk behind screens for people to protect themselves or more or less BS what they're trying to do for you. Rather than say, hey, I don't know the answer, let me get back to you. It's like talking circles and then we get confused, and you don't know how they're talking about anyway. So they could be talking about anything, right? And so they could just make up their own terms, but whatever. Unfortunately,
But also maybe writing the content is not their strength. It is in the actual designing and layout.
Correct.
Then just be honest.
Just be honest, right, and just say that. Yeah, no, 1000%.
Yeah.
So leads me to our next topic is, you had mentioned something. I got to do this. I have to. I'm doing it because I have to do it.
Yeah.
Which my keyword on this is motivation. What the hell motivates you to grind through that?
Just when I have no other options.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been something I've been wanting to do for some time. No one's going to do it for me.
Yeah.
So
So you kinda
I have to do it.
Right. And
Stop the excuses, stop the procrastination.
Yeah.
And just bite the bullet.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's how I'm going to learn.
Right.
It's going to come easier with time.
Right.
For me, this is almost like a resemblance of when I started cleaning. Like I told you in one of the previous episodes, it was learning how to use the tools, moving my body, and this, that, and the other thing. I didn't know what I was doing when I first started.
Right. Right.
I had to go back to several jobs and redo them.
Right. Right.
Now, forget it. I'm
You're
one of
pro.
the best cleaners, and I'm not talking about myself in a.
He is, ladies and gentlemen.
I am, but I am the best, but. And that's only because I have customers who I service for the first time always tell me, we've had their carpets clean before, but they've never been this clean, and everyone said they couldn't remove these spots. You remove them.
Right.
Because of trial and error.
Right. Right.
So it's kind of the same thing here on the business side.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be learning opportunities.
Yeah, exactly.
So I wanted to bring up motivation because of this. Motivation, when it comes to business, is bullshit, I think. And the reason why, you know, you see this, you listen to these, you know, people on social media, Instagram, you know, all these, oh, you gotta be motivated, let's be motivated, you know, let's do this, you know.
I see where you're coming from now.
And my problem with that is that motivation is this. One day you wake up in the morning.
It doesn't last long.
No. One day you wake up in the morning, you're motivated, you're pumped up.
Yeah.
You wake up on a Monday, and you're like, oh shit, you know,
You mean the Monday?
yeah, exactly, right. And so, or you wake up, you know, so you know, Monday mornings I play hockey, and Monday nights I play hockey, and so Monday mornings I'm up at, you know, we bumped it an hour later, so now I can get up at 5:45 in the morning.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's not bad. Not 4:45. I used to get up at 4:45.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, when I wake up at 5:45 or 4:45, I'm not motivated.
No.
Nobody's fucking motivated.
No.
Excuse my French. Nobody's motivated, right? But I'm excited because, you know, I play in a couple other leagues, and I like to. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna train and I'm gonna work on specific things and that sort of thing. It's fun, right?
Yeah.
I think when you put a goal onto it,
Yeah.
I think when we put a goal to get there, like you have business goals this year.
Yeah,
you have business goals.
Yeah.
I would say, you know, you are driven and you're hyper focused on those business goals.
Mm-hmm.
Even if your motivation's up and down,
Yeah.
you know what the objective is, and you got to do it because you got to do it.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? There's no
hit the nail on the
emotion.
head.
Right. There's no emotion into it. There's no
No.
feelings into it. You do it because you got to do it because you need to make. You need to hit that. Or you
I
need
do.
to hit this. You know
I
what I
do.
mean? Same with me, right?
Mhm.
You know, so. You know, when you started Sunshine Cleaning Systems, even now when you're working on Sunshine Cleaning Systems, you're a one-man show. Nobody else is going to do it.
Correct.
You know what I mean? I have employees, of course,
Mm-hmm.
but I still do a big bulk of the admin, the marketing, you know,
Right.
making all the final decisions. Why? Because nobody else is going to do that.
Yep.
So you got to make it happen. There's another thing. I mentioned this guy a lot, Gary Vee, right?
Yeah.
Don't expect your employees to work harder for your business than you.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
You cannot teach that.
No, it's not their business.
No.
It's not their business, right?
Correct,
So,
correct.
so what I would say is this: don't wait until you're motivated to start a business, because you're going to be vastly disappointed within the first week when shit hits the fan and your anxiety's through the roof and you're panicking. You're like, what do I do next? Or you know, I've been posting this on social media. I've spent, you know, $5,000 in marketing, and I've done this and that, and nothing's happening. I don't have a client.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Right. And that's.
But it's like they say, you can't learn to drive from a parked car.
Right.
You have to.
You have to move.
Yeah.
You have to move, and you have to, I think, be in the mindset of nobody else is going to do this for me. Get it done.
Yeah.
So, you know, obviously we talked about, you know, advice for people that want to start a business. Obviously, come up with a business idea. Don't let it be something that, it doesn't have to be something that you absolutely love doing. find an opportunity and make it something you enjoy doing and love doing.
Yes.
I would say, like you said, number two, finding some sort of mentor to speak to, in that same breath, licensing your, getting an EIN number, becoming an LLC, go to the bank, open up a bank account, link your bank account to, electronic payments, right away, boom. Obviously get a website going. All of this is kind of like boom, 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 boom. For people that are watching and listening, like this is like.
If it's a cleaning service, you need equipment.
You're gonna need
Where's
equipment.
the money from that gonna come from?
You're gonna need some sort of cash flow. What I would say with
You need a vehicle, obviously.
Yeah, you're gonna need a vehicle for cleaning. What I would say, what I do with my cleaning business, again, everybody's strategy is a little bit different. I had $600.
Yeah,
right.
Right.
I bought the basics,
Right.
and what I did was booked out the clients 2-3 weeks ahead. So I said, our bookings, we have nothing tomorrow, we have nothing this week, so I book them up ahead, and then they have to pay a surcharge, not a surcharge, they would like a reserve pay.
Okay.
So like if we estimate
like a deposit.
exactly,
Yeah.
a deposit. Sorry.
Yeah.
So they would make a deposit, and then boom, there's my cash flow. And then you know what I mean, and then I would take that cash, buy the equipment we needed.
I like
the
that.
products, right? So that is a way as well to if you're like, I don't have enough money to start a business, which I think is a BS excuse. If you watch podcasts with Mark Cuban, he says you're the biggest idiot if you take out a loan, to start a business, right? You don't necessarily need all the capital in the world. And what makes a strong business owner, a strong entrepreneur is strategy. Figuring it out without throwing. I mean, how many companies have we seen that throw millions, billions of dollars into something?
A lot.
And they fail. You know what I mean? Or maybe millions, billions. But even if you look at small businesses in the area that hundreds of thousands of dollars are getting these investors. What is that doing? It's just raising up your expense. And again, I can't. This is not my quote, but I was listening this morning. Mark Cuban says, starting a business, there is so many variables. And there's no or how did he word it? You don't know what to expect, right?
Okay.
You know what I mean? When you start a business, you don't know what to expect. There's so many variables.
Because you haven't been through anything.
But if you take out a loan, guess what is promised?
Oh, money, debt.
Debt.
Yeah.
Exactly right. So nothing's promised in business, especially when you're starting a business. But you take out a loan, or you take out a second mortgage, or whatever the case may be. That loan is promised.
Yes.
You're gonna have to pay that back. You know what I mean? So I think being starting a small business, building a small business, you have to be a strategic thinker. You have to really analyze and work things out. The way you think is not different than the way I think.
Right.
Maybe kind of, sorta.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, right? So Ray,
It's complementary.
I won't speak for Ray. I'll let him speak for himself. How would you define your thought process? Are you somebody that's just going to go and take action, or are you?
No, I have to think about it. I have to get a plan arranged. I'm sometimes overthinking that, but then I just go at it and hope that everything goes as I thought. And if it doesn't, I can become a little stressed.
Yeah. What happens if it doesn't work the way? So if it doesn't go the
then
way,
I'm really stressed.
And I'm a little bit the opposite.
I know.
Yeah. So all right. So we agreed. I'm a little bit more the opposite.
Dive in.
I'm a planner, but I don't overthink it.
Yeah.
I'll say, all right, here's A, B, C, D. Boom, 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 boom. What's that mean? Bam. Let's go. And that's it, right? Obviously, there's a level to risk management on this. Like I'm not just like a crazy person and just going off the whim and saying let's try this. And there's a little bit of a thought process, but I think one thing I've learned growing up is don't be an overthinker, right? Easier said than done.
Yes, easier said than done.
Because I love to learn. Cliche of course. I'm a lifelong learner. I love to learn. I love to fail.
I don't, but
because I look at it as an opportunity. I'm like, oh man, bam, pick that up. So, huge. I'm not gonna say don't overthink, but I'm gonna say keep yourself. Don't. And again, another quote. Don't let yourself overthink so much that you think yourself out of it.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay.
obviously again, don't just be a crazy person and just go off the whim and be like, we're gonna do this, and money's flying everywhere, and then you're like, oh wait, what happened?
Yeah.
But yeah, so motivation. Obviously, we talked about a little bit of execution, and kind of what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that sandwich looks so good. Just look at that sandwich right now. We talked about finding a mentor.
We did.
Score. I think that was excellent. You
Mm-hmm.
you and I didn't even talk about that before the show started.
No,
That was a great. You were like quick on that one.
Mm-hmm. Maybe even starting out part-time.
Starting out part-time,
Yeah.
another big one.
Figuring out things, getting a game plan developed.
Yeah. So I think that's huge right now. So that's a great topic as well.
Yeah.
Is all right, Brian and Ray. You talked about the theories of starting a business.
Yeah.
You make it sound easier said than done, right?
Mm-hmm.
The
Right.
real world is this. You're in your early 20s, mid 20s, late 20s, however old you are, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm 36. Like,
Mhm.
started PHC when I was 21. Doesn't matter how old you are. It could be 40s, 50s.
Mm-hmm.
Likely, the person has a full-time job,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And now that's
I did when I started. You
right.
did when you
yeah,
started.
exactly.
Mhm.
And so, because you still need income,
Yes, you do.
you know. I want to say this because it's goes back on kind of the motivation piece.
Okay.
You either use that as an opportunity, having a full-time job,
Yeah.
or you use it as an excuse.
Agreed.
You know,
Yep.
you can't start I just don't have time. I don't have
Mhm.
time to start a business.
Mhm.
Then you're not starting a business.
No.
You're not in the right mindset to start a business. You know, if you have a full-time job, and I get it, nobody works necessarily 40 hours a week anymore, 50, 60 hours a week, but you've got to figure out how to carve that time,
You do.
right? Carve that time out and say, all right, starting this year, my whole thing was I'm going to schedule out not just my day, I'm going to
Yeah.
schedule out hours within the day.
Yeah.
And
have
I think that's a great approach. So if you're like, where the hell do I even start?
Yeah.
Look at your day. Okay, 9 to 7 p.m. is my job.
Mhm.
My job, whether I work from home or not. 9 a.m., 7 p.m. my job. Let's say 7 to 8:30 with the kids.
Yep.
Right, family, whatever.
Yeah.
If you
Breakfast, get them
right,
ready.
right.
bring
If
them
you
to school.
right, if you don't have, or I'm saying at night, 7.
Oh.
Yeah.
My apologies.
We'll even say before 9 a.m. with the kids getting ready.
Okay.
So we'll say at night. So let's say you're done work at 7. Let's say 7:15. Give you a little break in there. 7:15 to 8:30
Mhm.
with the kids, dinner, that sort of thing, whatever. If you don't have kids and it's just you and you got this time, then you take the time. No video games, no Netflix, none of that. But again, if you're a family person, you've got family, you got kids, block out that time.
Mhm.
8:30 to 10, 8:30 to 11, you're on the grind,
Mhm.
right? And then, so that's Monday through Friday, Saturday through Sunday, you're trying to carve out. You're trying to carve out your family time to yourself, whatever. But again, the business cannot have a day off,
No, I can't.
right? And I think once you figure out time management, so I own multiple businesses, and I work for another company as a technical soccer director. Again, part-time.
Right, but still time.
Still time. And people say, how the heck do you do this? How do you do all this? You have multiple companies, all generating revenue, and you work part-time, as a kind of like a consultant, and how do you do all this?
Yeah.
And what I just explained is exactly how you do it. Do you agree or disagree? Is that similar to how you kind of like map out things, or like how do you make sure like you've got a timeline going and you're getting shit done?
I just stick to a routine schedule just like you. I have my calendar. I put a certain amount of things in it per day. And sometimes I get to them, sometimes I don't. If I don't get to finish, I'll put on the next day. But you can't stop.
No.
You gotta keep moving.
Yeah, you gotta keep moving. And I think, you gotta keep pushing. If you're gonna start a business, or even take your business to a different level,
Yes.
you've got to be able to carve.
You do.
You got to structure your time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is.
Yes.
So you got any closing thoughts, right?
Spring is soon gonna be here, so just be prepared. Maybe it's a perfect time to start a business. It's a new season.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe this is your year.
Yeah.
You don't know unless you try.
It's Ray's year. It's
Yeah.
going to be Ray's year. You know, he had came. You know, we've known each other for years. And he said, Brian, this is my year that I'm really going to like blow the doors off this thing. You know, so definitely excited for Ray. And again, if anybody has any questions, comments, you can absolutely leave comments in the YouTube channel. You can post comments on our Instagram. Again, we're more than happy to kind of, you know, give advice, you know, to business owners, entrepreneurs, people that are thinking about starting their own business. More than, you know, been there, done that, and continuously been there and doing that. So happy to have those conversations with anybody. So again, thank you again for watching.
Thank you, Jenny's.
Yeah, thank you, Jenny's. Thank you again for Mind Your Cleaning Business. We'll see you on the next one.